When we're talking about the whole like thing of like the left and the right agreeing on a lot of topics, but the fact that we can't agree on Trump, I just don't see many other people that candidates that would be a wrecking ball and would go in there and dismantle the FBI. I've literally haven't heard anybody else talk about that other than Donald Trump.
Yeah, and he just started talking about that lately. That was another one of my criticisms. So during the 2016 election, I was part of the WikiLeaks task force, essentially a giant group of anons, as they say. And we were cutting up these WikiLeaks emails and using these robots from this website called Fiverr, where you could just buy, 1,000 retweets, 1,000 likes, whatever, for like $5 from click farms in Eastern Europe and from India and cheap places. And we could essentially go around and as we know, based on how the elections have been going the last few cycles, for the national election, you could rig the national election by just rigging 6 counties in 6 states. So we were targeting those specific counties, and we were targeting key demographics in those counties. So like, say, Black people in Milwaukee, right? And we would go find the trending hashtags, because the Twitter algorithm at the time was much more natural, meaning whoever got the most likes or retweets would show up at the top of each hashtag. And we would go get not just the political ones, but the pop culture ones, the sports ones, all the ones that were really popular at the time. Stack those in these tweets with these really extremely racist things that Hillary Clinton said in her emails and blast that out there, right? So just get that all ranked at the top. And a lot of people, they're forgetting that Donald Trump in 2016 didn't win because he was so popular with everyone, right? A lot of Republicans didn't like him. He got less total votes than Mitt Romney, who lost to Obama. The reason that he was able to win was because like 20 million lefties who they weren't expecting didn't show up because they were like, oh, yuck. And Donald Trump at the time, the way he was talking, the way he was posturing was very anti-Bush, very anti-establishment, anti-wars, right? So they felt like, I don't like this guy, but, between El Chapo and Orange Kanye, maybe I'll let Orange Kanye have a try. So we, like, at the time, we were putting cheeky hashtags, extra ones, on our post that was just said hashtag not a Russian agent, because we could see in Hillary Clinton's emails that, hey, your lawyers have identified this deal you did with Uranium One, where you sold 20% of the United States uranium supply to Russia, as your biggest vulnerability. So what did they do? They made a plan. All right, we're going to put this Russia thing onto Trump. And they were lining that up in advance in their emails. And Donald Trump had that on day one. On day one, he had all the ammo he needed to unlock this Russiagate thing. And for some strange reason, he did not, right? He did not pardon WikiLeaks, or he didn't even bring him up again, really. Right. So that's where I was thinking, if you got that Twitter 80 million followers strong and they're coming after you with this BS, I would have told the FBI, listen, you will cut the shit immediately, or I will start dropping WikiLeaks every day until you do. And I will start declassifying things every single day until you do. So I'm not sure what the deal was there. I think he put Pompeo in as the CIA director, I think, because Pompeo, ironically enough, was one of the only people going hard in the paint for WikiLeaks in the first place. So I don't know if Pompeo was just posturing like that to try to trick Trump and get in there, or if he got flipped after the fact. But it was weird because Pompeo went from like vigorously promoting WikiLeaks during the election to vigorously trying to kill Julian Assange after the election. So, but that's the kind of thing, like, I agree with you. I don't see anybody more so than Donald Trump that's willing to take the establishment to task. I see people like Ron DeSantis, and I think it's good that he avoided these COVID lockdown nonsense and some of the other state level things. But that's a West Point guy. That's the Gitmo lawyer, right? He was the guy going and creating the pretext for them to torture people at Gitmo. So is he really going to be the guy that's going to take the deep state to task as hard as possible? I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, just watching his actions in Florida, whenever it comes to challenging the bar's power, which there's been a lot of challenges in Florida, by the way, that's actually gone through the state legislature there. He vetoes those kind of bills. So he seems, in my opinion, to be an agent of the bar. That's not going to really change much there. Definitely not the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah, so we're in a tough spot, right? Because that was supposed to be Donny Boy's job, and he really kind of, for lack of a better term, he kind of got cucked in a lot of ways. So, if he figures it out, if he's down to ride, then maybe we'll give him another look. But I'm waiting to see what the landscape is at the time, because I agree with you. I don't see anybody out there that's willing to go harder after the establishment than Donald Trump. And hopefully, after all of this nonsense, after all of these BS investigations, after all of this hell that they've put him through, maybe he would be willing to finally take it to the FBI for once. But we'll see. We shall see. And I think in the meantime, we got to stop relying on people to come save us in the government, right? Because even if, as we saw Trump, you get in there, it's a frozen steering wheel, right? You're only so powerful. And if the ways you exercise your power, right, the thing that makes the president powerful is he controls the federal law enforcement, theoretically, controls federal law enforcement, controls the military, controls the intelligence services. Again, theoretically, but if your mechanisms of exercising power just give you the finger and do whatever they want, what are you going to do, right? Are you really the most powerful person in the world, or are you just driving with a frozen steering wheel?
There was reports today about how nuclear codes were being hidden, conversations were being hidden from Trump, which is, it sounds absolutely treasonous, but they were doing this guy, and there doesn't seem to be any repercussions for really disrespecting the office of the presidency.